Why the power grid left no written history. Again, why did the Tiwanaku power grid left no history? The silent machine. Why did one of the most sophisticated empires in human history leave behind 0 books? Have you any ideas? What are your thoughts on the matter? History treats the ruins of Tiwanaku as a mystery of missing scrolls or a gap in the line of human literacy. But that is an auditor's error. Again, that is an auditor's error. We are looking for books when we should be looking for circuit boards. The truth isn't hidden in a library. It's hidden in plain sight, carved into every hydraulic pipe and precision conduit. Today, we audit Tiwanaku ruins not as a ceremonial altars, but as components of a massive high-pressure hydraulic machine, and we are going to prove that when a system achieves perfect anonymous flow, its efficiency deletes the need for human script. Auditing the masonry, hard-coded logic. So look at the precision. Again, please look at the precision. Cut stone conduits. Standard archaeology calls these ceremonial channels. I call them the components of a physical programming language. In engineering, you don't write an instructional manual for a system that is hardwired to be self-regulated. So if your stone architecture manages water pressure, flow rates, and thermal regulation with micro-level precision, then the instructional manual is the wall itself. The Tiwanaku weren't illiterate. They were beyond the need for symbolic representation. They transitioned their logical intelligence directly into the kinetic infrastructure of the city. So by auditing the stone, we see a system designed for higher output power, a hydraulic grid that functioned without human intervention. Friction versus efficiency. So in every system, literacy is a friction point. So again, in every system, literacy is a friction point. Writing requires interpretation, maintenance, and transmissions. It is a slow, error-prone data transfer. A high-efficiency system, however, aims for the removal of human variables. So when a civilization reaches the apex of logistical flow, human script becomes redundant. Why write down how to manage water if your city is carved to manage itself? So again, let me re-ask that question. Why write down how to manage water if your city is carved to manage itself? The ruins show an empire that treated the environment as an extension of the machine. They didn't need to record history because they were creating a permanent, functional reality. The Tiwanaku wasn't a society of storytellers. It was a society of engineers who hard-coded their operations into the landscape. The system deletion, again, the systematic deletion. This leads us to the most uncomfortable realization of our audit. Systematic efficiency eventually deletes. Again, this leads us to the most uncomfortable realization of our audit. Systematic efficiency eventually leads to deletion. The need for human input. So if we look at the runes as a power grid, we understand why there is no record of their kings, their poets, or their war. Their priority was the grid. So when the machine is focused, the human story is deleted. We are tracing how this ancient empire achieved a self-regulating status that rendered the human record obsolete. This isn't a lost history, it is a history that was replaced by mechanical function. The empire didn't fall because it was conquered. Again, the empire did not fall because it was conquered. It is likely it optimized itself into a state where human governance and the human writing that supported it was simply no longer necessary. The verdict? When you treat the ancient ruins of Tiwanaku as a hydraulic engine, the mystery vanishes. You stop looking for what they believe and start auditing what they built. They didn't leave books because they live in a world of hard-coded logic. They were the architects of a silent, anonymous machine. Today, we stand on the edge of our own era of systematic efficiency, where alarms and anonymous systems are beginning to replace our own scribes and thinkers. Are we also heading toward a systematic deletion? Again, are we also heading toward a systematic deletion? Are we building a future where our stories are no longer needed because our infrastructure is perfect? Thank you for joining me. See you next time.